Bulldogs led by head coach Trey Winkler. You've got Ryland Ray, the 6'2 sophomore. Gage Rosicka had 21 in the win last night over Chadron. Rosicka, 5'9 junior. Creighton Beals, a 6' senior. 6'1 sophomore, Max Judy. And rounding out the starting five for the Bulldogs is going to be 6' senior Jack Mazer. Gering comes in with a record of 6-8 on the season. Scottsbluff beat Gering last Saturday night. The final in that one over at Gering High School was 74-38. Now the starters for Scottsbluff. Riley Meininger first up off the bench to be introduced, a 6'1 junior, scored 13 last night. Des Smith, the senior in the backcourt, 6 feet tall. He had just a couple of points last night. Nate Kelly, the star junior point guard, a 6' junior. He finished with 12. 6'1 sophomore Trey Boswell had a team-high 22 last night. And 6'4 junior Kian Delgado finished with 10. And he'll round out the starting five. The Bearcats in the home whites. Gering goes with the away black uniforms for tonight. Opening tip in a moment, always brought to you by Papa Murphy's Pizza. You can heat things up this Valentine's Day with the Heart Baker Pizza. Right now, get that signature pepperoni or cheese pizza in the shape of a heart for $11. And you can order online today. That's at Papa Murphy's Pizza. Feels like a good start for Gering. Crucial, Jeff.
Definitely. We can't see what we saw last Saturday night between these two. Gering's going to have to do what they did last night against Chadron.
Opening tip controlled by Scottsbluff. All things considered, pretty nice crowd on hand here for this matchup to begin the day. Gering going to go zone here on this opening possession of the afternoon. That leaves Trey Boswell open for a three, and Boswell knocks it down. We'll see if Scottsbluff can shoot Gering right out of the zone. They had some success with that last night. Now we're going to get an offensive foul called against, or no, was it
a 5 seconds?
5-second call. That's going to go against Gering. So I was watching Jack Mazer push off to try to get free. Thought that might have been the whistle.
There's a 5-second call.
And now a 5-second call on the Bearcats. So I'm sure both benches feeling like the whistle came a little quick right there. So 5-second calls to begin for each of these teams. Scottsbluff will go to some pressure. They look to trap Gage Rosicka. He throws it away. 2-on-1. Nate Kelly with the layup. And it is a 5-0 start with back-to-back turnovers committed by Gering. Again, after the make, pressure for the Bearcats. Jack Mazer brings it across the timeline on the bounce. Mazer, dribble alive, finds Rosicka. Gage Rosicka with 21 last night. They had 3 in double figures, did the Bulldogs. Jack Mazer with 20 on the shot clock. He'll try and enter the ball down low on the bounce pass, and that's stolen away.
See if Gering goes back to that zone. It was something they started working on this past week leading up to this tournament.
Looks like they are
switching
quickly back to a man-to-man look defensively, and Riley Meininger with the mid-range jumper. It is 8-0 here in the early going. Well, scoreboard says 8. Rosicka will let one fly from deep. That three-pointer is going to go off the front of the rim and carry him out of bounds. So I guess we'll give Meininger 3 on that last jumper for now. 8-0 the score. Scottsbluff basketball. Top of the key, Meininger has it. Meininger on the drive, leaves it underneath. Des Smith fouled on the shot. Nice ball movement that time. Off-ball defender helping uphill on the drive from Meininger, and he found a wide open Des Smith attacking the rim. Whistle comes, and a foul is going to go on Max Judy. His first team foul, and Des Smith at the foul line.
It's going to be important for Gering to try and score on their next possession after this free throw. I don't think they can go down by any more than 10 points.
Which is where we're at right now. A 10-0 start in the first minute and 42 seconds. And a near turnover. Now a long ball pass out near midcourt is stolen away. Boswell open three off the Des Smith pass. That one won't go. Offensive rebound to Scottsbluff Smith. He can't score from point-blank range. Nate Kelly rips it away from the Gering player underneath the basket. Ryland Ray, and it is 12-0 Scottsbluff here in the early going. Jeff, I've got Gering down already with 5 turnovers.
And that's, as we said, we keep harping on it, but that is not a good start, and it's similar to the start they got off to last Saturday against the Bearcats. And, this is a different floor, different environment for both these teams, but just not a good start for Gering. 5 turnovers. They've been getting beat on the boards. They went to that zone for about the first possession for Scottsbluff, and now they've gone back to man. So, this quick timeout, Gering's got to get something figured out here.
It took 1 3-point make for Coach Winkler to say, we're scrapping the zone, let's get back to man. If that was going to be the case, whether it was 1 possession or 2, Scottsbluff was going to knock down a 3 against that zone, and they have gone away from it immediately.
And they did have some success with it last night against Chadron. I mean, Brady Daniels, even though he had double figures, he was pretty much held down in the second half against Gering when they were using that zone. So, it just not a good start once again. And, this will be the second time these two teams have played in less than a week. And it just seems like, Gering, they're up 1 week and then down. And it was nice to see their game against Chadron last night after those 2 losses to Chadron and to Scottsbluff.
Out of the timeout, Gering will have to deal with the full court pressure from Scottsbluff. 3 defenders in the backcourt. Nate Kelly picks up Ryland Ray. Ray, cross-court pass, it comes to Jack Mazer. Mazer dribbles it inside the foul line. His pass deflected up off the backboard. It comes out to Gage Ruzicka, who can't knock down the tray, and Des Smith with the rebound in traffic underneath, and we're going to get a whistle and a jump ball is going to be the call from the baseline official, and the possession arrow, it'll stay on the Gering offensive end of the floor. Ruzicka inbounds to Mazer. He'll dribble to the foul line. Creighton Beals now behind the 3-point line. He'll bring it inside the arc. Lost it momentarily, gets it to Mazer. Mazer dribbles it to the left block. Beals, Ruzicka. Can't knock it down from distance. Des Smith, another rebound underneath. Quickly into the hands of Trey Boswell. 12-0 lead for Scottsbluff here in the first quarter. Kean Delgado on the perimeter. Now Des Smith, they'll back off with Beals. Smith will shoot the 3, left it short. Beals rebounds at the foul line. Ruzicka up ahead to Ryland Ray. Ray picks up his dribble in the right corner. Now Mazer with Trey Boswell on him. Gets rid of it with the left hand. They'll work it into the left corner to Judy. Now Ray. Scottsbluff closing out with multiple defenders. Ryland Ray, nice body control, leans in and banks that one off the square for 2. The first basket of the game for the Bulldogs comes from Ryland Ray. Trey Boswell dribbles it to the left elbow, kind of leaned in towards the defender, and a mini step back elbow jumper for Trey Boswell. He's got 5 early points, and it is 14-2.
Just tough defense by the Bearcats, just causing all kinds of trouble for Gering.
Double team came near midcourt. Gering now with it underneath the basket. And we're going to get a jump ball called with Kean Delgado and Creighton Beals tied up. And this time the possession arrow gives it back to Scottsbluff. That will be the 6th Gering turnover here. And we have yet to play the first 4 minutes of this opening quarter. Game 1 of 4 for us on our TV platforms. We're on the trail radio-wise for this one, and we'll be on KMOR later tonight for the Gering girls and Scottsbluff. Bearcats ball leading at 14-2. Little pitchback play to Isai Sabala. Can't knock down the 3. That's been a staple in the offense for years under Scott Golian. Isai Sabala, the first sub off the bench for the Bearcats. We'll see Ryan Hinman check in at the next dead ball. Ryland Ray can't get the 3 to go. That bounces up over the backboard, and Scottsbluff will get the ball back with 3:49 to play in the first quarter, and they lead it by 12 at 14-2.
One of the terms that Gering head coach Trey Winkler uses a lot is hunting for the good shot, and I asked him about that in our pregame before the Chadron game. I thought maybe they were just getting a little bit too trigger happy and not hunting for that good shot. They were putting up a lot of bad shots quickly.
Scottsbluff with it. Nate Kelly operates along the baseline into the hands of Isai Sabala. Off the left wing, drives it into the paint, and with the right hand it falls for Isai Sabala. 16-2 lead for Scottsbluff. And we're going to get a blocking foul in the backcourt called against Trey Boswell. We use the phrase danger zone a lot when these two teams have played over the years in Scottsbluff High School when Gering falls behind. We're at WNCC for this one this afternoon, but we might be on the back end of the danger zone here if Gering doesn't get some offense figured out.
It's getting very close. Like I said, they're trying to rely on three-pointer. There's really nothing inside for Gering early in this first quarter.
Jack Mazer has it. Matching 11s right there with Mazer and Boswell. Mazer high left. Ruzicka dribbles to the foul line. Kicks it back outside. Ryland Ray on the drive. Had his shot partially deflected. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Gering. Caleb Berta will check in, the 6'3 sophomore, onto the floor for the first time. We mentioned Ryan Hinman at that last dead ball. The 6'5 senior's in. So the only two starters remaining on the floor right now, Kelly and Meininger. Scottsbluff in front, 16-2 with 2:50 to play here in this opening quarter. Mazer, a little paint touch, the kick, and we'll get the horn, a shot clock violation. 7th turnover of the quarter committed by Gering. Bearcats with the ball, leading it 16-2. Nate Kelly jogs it into the front court. Mazer picks him up. Gering went zone on the first possession of the game. They've been man ever since. Now Kelly attacks the rim with the left hand, and it goes. Nate Kelly's got 3 two-point buckets early on, and it is 18-2. Ray with Berta defending. Ryland Ray drives it to the left block. Berta, good job. Kept his body in front, forced a tough shot, a fadeaway, and then Caleb Berta rebounds the miss. Kelly to the top of the key. There's a little pitch back play, and this is going to be a Bearcat turnover, their second of the game. In the paint, missed shot that time from Jack Mazer. Kelly has it. He'll look to push. 3-on-2, Hezekiah Garcia hustling back. Nate Kelly misses the left-hand layup. And Gering now will not have to face any full court pressure with the Scottsbluff miss. Kelly D's up Mazer on the left wing. Now Judy holds the basketball. 17 on the shot clock, 1:33 to play here in the first quarter. All Bearcats there in front, 18-2. Judy to Mazer. Shot clock at 5 on this possession. We've had one shot clock violation already. Baseline floater goes for Jack Mazer with the shot clock winding down.
Ball's just getting stuck on the Gering offense. There's not a lot of movement by the Gering Bulldogs.
Isai Sabala. Now Nate Kelly. Shot clock for the Bearcats at 20. Kelly with the crossover, drives it, bounce pass to Ryan Hinman. You know the defense is going to converge on Nate Kelly on those drives. Good job by Hinman to flash to the basket, and it is 20-4. 6 different players have scored for Scottsbluff so far in this first quarter. In the paint, little runner won't go for Ruzicka. A rare offensive rebound for Gering, and Ryland Ray hits the three-pointer, and that is a big basket. It brings Gering to within 13. Shot clock off, 25 seconds to play in the first quarter. Bearcats will play for the final shot, leading it 20-7. Now 15 on the clock. Nate Kelly, no real pressure on the basketball. He'll start to inch it closer to the three-point line. Gives to Riley Meininger. Meininger to Kelly. Right wing 3 off a screen. Can't get it to go. Up high for the rebound. Ryland Ray for Gering. He'll fire at the buzzer off the top of the backboard. 1 quarter in the books here at Cougar Palace. After 1, Scottsbluff leading in our boys game over Gering 20-7 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
Chris Cottrell alongside Jeff Kelly. Jeff, will let you take honors here as we get this second quarter started.
Not a good start for the Gering Bulldogs. They fall behind 12-0. They don't get on the board till 4 minutes, 39 seconds left in the first quarter. And this is eerily reminiscent of what we saw Saturday night over in Gering as the Bulldogs have the ball to start this second quarter. As Rosiska takes it to the right side to Mazer, Ray. Max Judy with it on the left side. Bounce down low inside. Mazer trying to pass. Delgado got a hand in there. And they try to get it back to Max Judy, and he blows a tire. And a turnover on Gering's first possession here in this second quarter. And it will go right back to Scottsbluff. As we said, Gering went to a zone on Scottsbluff's first possession. That lasted all until the three-pointer was hit. And now Gering back to a man-to-man. On the Bearcat end, here's Boswell. He'll bring it top of the key on the dribble. He'll pull up from the free throw line, doesn't go, and there's Gage Ziska pulling down the rebound for Gering. Gering comes the other way. Left side, tied up, finds Mazer on the right side. Out to Rylan Ray for a three. That one's off the mark. Nice rebound flying in there is Max Judy, but he loses the handle. It's picked up by Berta. Ahead to Delgado, and a whistle and a foul at the Scottsbluff end.
You mentioned that turnover to begin the quarter for Gering, Jeff. That's 8 in the game on the Bulldogs. You think about 7 in the first quarter. That just equals so many empty trips down the floor offensively, and you can't have that against this type of offense from the Bearcats.
Because they will make you pay every time down the floor. That foul on Hezekiah Garcia of Gering. And the Bearcats with it. Des Smith inside the arc will give it up to Berta. He'll launch a three. That'll come off the back iron. Delgado into the corner to Sabala. Boswell on the dribble to the free throw line. Kicks it to Berta. Berta into the left corner. Delgado can't do anything with it as he fumbled that pass. They work it from left to right. Sabala picked up by Beals. Here's Smith into the paint. He'll drive, dish out. Sabala with the ball. Takes it on the dribble. 13 left on the shot. The kick to Des Smith. Smith trying to drive and lost the handle as he went up with the ball. And that'll give it back to Gering as they trail it 20-7. Still looking for our first points here in this second quarter. Pressure's been backed up by the Bearcats. Mazer brings it across, picked up by Boswell. On the dribble left side, tried to split defenders, puts up a shot and puts it in. I think Gering's going to have more of that, but Scottsbluff quickly to the other side. Sabala as they work it to Des Smith. Smith on the left side into the corner for Berta. That one doesn't fall. Rebound tipped around. Gering comes out of there with it. And the Bearcats leading at 20-9. Here's Mazer. Left side pass. Rylan Ray spin move. Puts it up over Berta. That rattles in off the glass. And Rylan Ray with 7 in the ball game. And Gering making a little bit of a run here early in this second quarter.
They've scored the first 4 points. They draw to within 9.
Bearcats with it as Delgado double teamed down low, and we've got a 3-second call on the Bearcats. And that'll bring Nate Kelly and Riley Meininger off of the Bearcat bench as Sabala and Berta check out for the Bearcats as Gage Ziska in for Jack Mazer on the Gering side. Gering with it, 5:18 left here in the first half. Ziska will be picked up by Meininger as he crosses the 10-second line, gets a high screen from Garcia, can't use it. Back to Beals, right side. Here's Rylan Ray. Ray picks up his dribble, looking. Rosiska can't get free. Tough defense by Meininger. The ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Gering. They will inbound in front of the Bearcat bench. Far sideline. Toss in. Rosiska with it. He'll pull up top of the key and drain that three. Gage Rosiska with his first points. And Gering has cut the Scottsbluff lead to 6 here with 4:47 left in the first half. But Boswell driving, scoring, count it, and he's fouled.
A 7-0 run to begin the quarter for Gering, but the quick answer from the sophomore Trey Boswell on the other end of the floor and a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play.
That's what Scottsbluff will do to you. You get the deficit closed up a little bit, and then they just rock it down the floor and get an easy basket. And to add insult to injury, you send Trey Boswell to the free throw line for a traditional three-point play.
We've seen this a couple of times already, even after a made basket from Gering. If the Bulldogs don't hustle back defensively, Scottsbluff can push it down the floor in transition even after a Gering make.
Three-point play completed by Boswell. Garcia on the Gering bench with 2 personal fouls here with 4.5 minutes left in the first half. Out on top, Ruziska with the ball, picked up there by Meininger. Here's Quentin Robbins, who's checked into the Bearcat, or checked at the Bulldog lineup. Cut off from the baseline, and the pass to Max Judy. He steps on the sideline. And that's one thing, playing on a little bit of a different court, not quite sure of the dimensions. Of course, they're probably the same as the court at home, but you get close to that sideline, and right there, a turnover for Gering, and Bearcats will have it up 23-14. Ryan Hinman into the Scottsbluff lineup. Smith with it. Dez driving against Robbins. Outlet pass tipped in the air into the hands of Riley Meininger, and Meininger drives and scores that time. And Meininger with 5. 25-14 Bearcats as Gering turns it over at their offensive end.
Back to that last pass. The pass came to him, almost to himself. Impressive play there from Riley Meininger.
All going the Bearcats' way here in this first half. Nate Kelly takes it to the left wing, wide open, 3-ball, in and out. As Ray comes down with the rebound for Gering. Ryland on the push, top of the key, and he'll be fouled by, they're going to call it jump ball.
Scottsbluff basketball.
And the possession, we're giving that to the Bearcats. 25-14 here. Bearcats with it. Kelly at the controls as he brings it into the offensive end for the Bearcats. They work it quickly to Des Smith. He takes it into the paint, drives, puts up the shot, off the glass, doesn't go. Hinman with the offensive board. His putback won't go. One more time, Smith down low. His shot, they kick it out to Nate Kelly. His 3 in and out. Finally, Ryland Ray corrals a rebound for Gering. The Bulldogs will come the other way as we go underneath 3 minutes. Quick 3 by Gage Ruziska. He's got 2 threes in this second quarter. And it makes it 25-17. It's an 8-point Bearcat lead here. Des Smith wide open for 3 from the left side, and Smith answers right back for the Bearcats. And the lead, 11 now for Scottsbluff. Here's Ryland Ray, right side, double teamed in the corner. Finds Quentin Robbins. He'll whip a pass down low. Mazer there. Mazer puts it up and in. Nice pass from Quentin Robbins that time to Mazer. Nearing the 2-minute mark, Nate Kelly on the offensive end, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Down low. And the foul on Gering's Creighton Beals. That'll be the first on Beals. Only the second team foul. Third team foul on Gering. Check that, it's on Nate Kelly. Bearcats with the ball. Boswell for 3. That's off the back iron, it won't fall. Gering the other way, Ruziska with it. Against Sabala, drives left side, high off the glass, doesn't fall. There's Delgado with the rebound. Kelly, his long down court pass, tipped and bounced around. Gering finally corrals it at the Scottsbluff end. So Mazer will bring it the other way. Mazer drives down the left sideline. Nice little nifty bounce pass to Robbins. He wasn't ready. The turnover gives it back to the Bearcats. Nate Kelly drives, dishes. There's Keon Delgado with the basket, and a 30-second timeout called
30-second timeout.
by the Scottsbluff Bearcats with 1:29 left. We'll keep it right here. And it's just been a quick start for Scottsbluff. Gering made a little bit of a run in the second quarter, but just as soon as you get comfortable with Scottsbluff, thinking you're getting close, Scottsbluff will reel off 6 quick points and take another lead back.
Pushed it back to double figures now at 11. The North Platte girls, they're in the gym. The Sydney girls and head coach Tyler Shaw, they walked in a little bit ago. I saw Jordan Mills earlier walk in with his Alliance boys team. We've got a nice crowd on hand here. It should be a real nice atmosphere as things move along throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. 4 games today, all TV. 4 games tomorrow, all TV. And we'll have any of the Scottsbluff and Gering games simulcast with radio coverage as well.
So out of the timeout, Gering has it. Scottsbluff establishes full court pressure. Gering has had trouble with this in this game. They get it into Mazer. He'll get it ahead to Gage Ruziska. Gage by the 10-second line, double teamed, and he'll be fouled by Riley Meininger. And that'll be the first on Riley Meininger. That'll be the first on the Bearcats here in this second quarter.
One thing we've seen Gering do defensively is really back off when Des Smith has the basketball, and I'm sure Scott Gullion said, they're going to give you that much room, you're going to have to knock one down, and he did hit that 3 a few trips back.
High post pass, Quentin Robbins with it. Back outside, Ruziska. We near the 1 minute mark. Ruziska double teamed inside to Robbins, and Robbins fouled on the way to the basket. And that foul on Scottsbluff's Trey Boswell. That'll be 2 on Boswell. And Boswell will check out very quickly. Des Smith back into the Bearcat lineup. Gering on the baseline inbound. Into Mazer. He's picked up by Nate Kelly. Ball knocked away. As both players go to the floor, and the ball will stay with Gering. Max Judy checking in for Quentin Robbins. Gering to inbound at their offensive end. 59 seconds left. Quick inbounds to Ruziska. Gage, left side pass. Mazer. Picked up by Smith. Mazer into the paint. Back to Max Judy, and we've got a foul as Max Judy driving to the basket. And the foul on Scottsbluff's Riley Meininger. He'll pick up his second. So Bearcats with 2 fouls on Meininger. Gering with it. Ruziska against Sabala. Rylan Ray picks up his dribble. He's swarmed by Sabala. Looks to kick it out. Tries to find it. Ruziska, and the pass goes off his hands. And the tough defense by the Bearcats just continues. They have been all over Gering here in this game. And a short rest for Trey Boswell as he checks back into the Bearcat lineup here with 35 seconds left.
Des Smith will take a seat, and he does a great job defensively. Whatever he gives you on the offensive end is a bonus. He gets the #1 defensive assignment each and every game.
Nate Kelly picked up by the 10-second line by Creighton Beals. Pounds the dribble on the right side. 18 seconds left on the shot, 16, now 14. Boswell with it, top of the key. 9 left on the shot now. Boswell drives and will have a foul.
Not the worst of fouls there really for Gering. I think that's going to go on Rosicka, his second. Not in the bonus. He'll make Scottsbluff execute a baseline out of bounds play.
Garcia Robbins check into the Gering lineup for Max Judy and Gage Rosiska. 3.6 seconds left. Inbound quickly to Meininger. Meininger puts up the 3. Off the glass, it doesn't go. And we are at halftime here, this first game on day 2 of this Western Conference Tournament from Western Nebraska Community College. And Bearcats on top of Gering, 30-19 here at halftime on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
I imagined retirement in a place where we could enjoy our golden years, where adventure and friendship are the only items on the schedule. The Garden Homes at Northfield gives us the luxury we planned for and peace of mind when it comes to convenience, safety, and comfort. We never have to stop and think about the day-to-day upkeep. We love to explore abroad, but most importantly in our backyard. So much to do, so much to see. Here at Northfield, we get the protection of life care, incredible tax benefits, and secured rates for aging services. It's peaceful, knowing that if our needs change, we'll be taken care of. And most importantly, that our kids will never have to make any tough decisions. There never seemed to be enough time to do all the things we wanted. Now we get to focus our energy on enjoying what this community has to offer. At the Garden Homes, life is ours again. A place we had dreamed about. A chance to focus on us.
Rural Radio Network coverage, the first of 4 today for us at WNCC's Cougar Palace. The Cougar men, WNCC on the road tonight. Chuck Schwartz will have that ball game there at North Platte Community College. Big one on the road. The North Platte Community College Knights 3-0 in South Subregion play. The Cougar men are 2-1. That'll be on KOLT with coverage at 5:45. Here it's halftime for our first boys semifinal. Scottsbluff leading Gering 30-19. Let's get a look at the halftime statistics. Check on the numbers, always brought to you by Dr. Levi Bolin at Advantage Chiropractic in Scottsbluff. They specialize in treating your aches, pains, and injuries. You can call for an appointment at Advantage Chiropractic, 633-1425. Let's start with Gering. I've got the Bulldogs without a free throw attempt. They've made 3 3-point baskets, 2 of those coming from Gage Rosicka in the second quarter. Scoring-wise, Rylan Ray with 7, Rosicka with 6, and Jack Mazer with 6. And I've got Gering for 13 turnovers. Obviously, the number in that column not gonna work for Gering, but also just the 3 players have been able to score so far.
Yeah, you'd like to see a lot more scoring from people like Max Judy, of course, Creighton Beals, and Hezekiah Garcia coming off the bench. You'd like to see a little bit more from the bench for Gering, but once again, as we said, the slow start by Gering, and against a team like Scottsbluff, that's just a recipe for disaster, and I think we saw that in that first quarter.
As for Scottsbluff, they've had 7 different players score in the first half. They've spread things out. Trey Boswell with a game-high 8 points. Nate Kelly had all 6 of his first half points in that first quarter. 5 points apiece for Riley Meininger and Des Smith, and then 2 points each for Kian Delgado, Isai Sabala, and Ryan Hinman. Again, your half, and we've got Scottsbluff for unofficially 5 turnovers. They've hit all 3 of their free throws, and they've connected on 3 3-pointers. Get halftime score here at WNCC's Cougar Palace. Looking forward to a full afternoon and evening of basketball, and then tomorrow we'll have both those third-place games and championship games. The start times get moved up 3 hours tomorrow. We'll have game number 1. The girls' third-place game will be at 11. So then the boys' third-place game at 12:30. Championship games scheduled for, I emphasize the word scheduled for, 2 and 3:30. Halftime here for this one. Boys contest in the semis. Scottsbluff leading Gering 30-19 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
I would definitely recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
Chris Cottrell, Jeff Kelly with you, 107.3 The Trail and our KNEB.TV platforms. Jeff, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a quick start would be key for Gering. It was the exact opposite. Still, they only find themselves down by 11. A hot half of three-point shooting could get Gering right back into it, but the first couple of minutes of this third quarter really going to kind of decide what direction this half is going to go.
And we kind of, I think, said that last Saturday night over in Gering that it's going to be imperative for Gering to get off to a quick start. We didn't see that last Saturday night. Gering gets outscored 35-9 in that second half in Gering. So, you know, I'm sure Gering is aware of what happened last Saturday night, but being aware of it and putting it into action are 2 different things.
Scottsbluff has a lot to live up to defensively compared to last night. They allowed no points in the second half. I say that kidding, folks.
Yeah.
It was a game that was really not worth playing as Scottsbluff hung 101 on that Liberty Tree team out of the Colorado Springs area. Consolation games being played at both Scottsbluff and Gering High Schools this afternoon and this evening. 4 o'clock at Scottsbluff, Liberty Tree and Chadron in the boys. Same start time for the girls over at Gering. It'll be Alliance and Chadron. 5:30 games, Mitchell North Platte boys at Scottsbluff and the Liberty Tree Mitchell girls at 5:30 at Gering. Bulldogs will begin this second half in possession of the basketball. Nate Kelly D's up Gage Rosicka. Bounce pass to Ryland Ray. They look opposite. That look's been a staple for Gering offensively over the years. And the pass from Ruzicka, I'm not sure Beals was ready for the basketball. The pass might have been a bit low as well, and that turns into an opening trip turnover. And again, no shots on the trip down the floor, and they give it away.
Yeah, and it looked like it was almost going to be a good give and go, and the pass just wasn't there for Creighton Beals to be able to handle.
Nate Kelly bounces it down low to Kian Delgado. He finds an opposite floor cutter. Des Smith off the mark. Go board to Des. Second crack at it, fouled. And free throws coming for Des Smith. Despite his frame at 6 feet taller, his height, he's such a physical
and just battle against two Gering Bulldogs to pull down those rebounds.
Said this during the broadcast last night as he misses the first free throw. You knew you were going to get all the touchdowns and all the rushing yards in the fall in the backfield for Judd Hall, but what he's been able to do for Coach Golian here in the basketball team this winter, I think has been a little bit beyond what the expectations were. Smith misses 2 at the line. Just a 55% free throw shooter. Ryland Ray, and that's Des Smith with the assignment defending Ray. Judy, cut off near the foul line, bounces it to Beals at the baseline. Creighton Beals in traffic, shot blocked by a flat-footed Kian Delgado, and now Scottsbluff trying to run. Boy, Riley Meininger got up in the air, wanted to pass the ball to Trey Boswell. There was no lane to make the feed, and he just said, that's okay, I'll bank it in off the square. Meininger was chuckling at his own self going back down the floor.
Gering moving the ball just a little bit quicker here as we start this third quarter.
Mazer on the drive, and a strong take there from Jack Mazer. And he's fouled by Kian Delgado.
Fouls on number 24, Kian Delgado, his first.
First personal on Delgado. First team foul here on Scottsbluff in this third quarter. We've played 1 minute and 18 seconds, and Scottsbluff has the only 2 points of the half thus far as Mazer misses at the stripe.
Jack with a good game last night, 10 points in the win over Chadron.
Can't have that, an 0 for 2 trip at the line for Jack Mazer. When you're down by 13, every one of those points is crucial. Des Smith knifes into the paint, slips 2 defenders mid-flight, misses the layup with the left hand. Here comes Gering, Ruzicka has it. Pull-up 3 in transition, missed everything. Max Judy, Johnny on the spot underneath the basket to come up with the offensive rebound. Judy bounces it to Ryland Ray. Baseline J, short corner right side, and Ray now with 9 points, but still just the 3 players have scored for Gering. They're going to have to find some of those extra scorers along the way. If not today, the rest of this season. Nate Seiler not with the team anymore. It's been a 7-man rotation so far for head coach Trey Winkler.
Yeah, and that's one thing. We've got Hezekiah Garcia checking into the Gering lineup, and he comes in with 2 fouls, but he did some good things last night against Chadron. He's going to have to continue that here this afternoon, but you can't let Trey Boswell nail a 3.
NBA range right there for Trey Boswell. That ups his point total to 11. That's his second 3-point make, and Scottsbluff back up by 14. The answer on the other end not there out of the left corner for Ryland Ray. Here comes Scottsbluff. Nate Kelly hesitates, explodes to the rim, count it, and a foul. Chance for a 3-point play for Nate Kelly. His first basket since the first quarter. He's got 8. That pushes the lead to 16 points at 37-21. 5:38 to play here in this third quarter.
Fouls on number 10, Max Judy, his second.
Second foul on Max Judy. And Nate, his first free throw attempt, came into the weekend at 85% at the line. Ruzicka had the pass deflected by Kelly. He'll scoop it ahead to Boswell, who lays it up and in. Trey Boswell's got 5 in the quarter, 13 in the game.
Scottsbluff's kind of backed off on the full court pressure, but pressure right there on Ruzicka caused that turnover, and Scottsbluff points that time.
Yeah, even right there, we get the bump, and the foul is going to go against Trey Boswell, his third personal. You could tell Nate Kelly was just waiting for the ball handler to get near midcourt, and they were trying to trap in the corner. The foul bails him out. Boswell defends on Mazer. Mazer started left, goes right, comes back left, picks up his dribble at the elbow left side at the foul line. Ray catches with Des Smith defending. He'll poke, he'll bump, he'll body you. It is no fun to have to play against Des Smith. Ryland Ray. Smith has him, stays in front. No ability for Ray to get the shot off. Shot clock now at 5 seconds. Mazer dribbles it, looks opposite, and the throwaway, it comes right to Des Smith. 3-on-1 the other direction. Smith will get called for a double dribble or a carry. It'll be a carry called on Des Smith.
Into the game for the Bearcats, Isai Sabala.
I've got just 6 turnovers committed by the Cats, and the Dogs have given it up 15 times. Des Smith will take a seat. Isai Sabala will check in. We'll get a 30-second timeout taken by Gering. We'll keep it right here. 4:38 to play, and we mentioned the first few minutes of this second half was going to be pretty indicative of the way this thing might go. And Scottsbluff's taken what was an 11-point lead at the break, and they've now stretched it to 19 points as they've outscored Gering so far 10-2 in this second quarter.
Not a good start in
third
the
quarter,
third quarter for Gering. We saw some good ball movement from Gering on their first couple possessions here in their third quarter, but on that last possession it just got stuck and shot clock running down, and Gering not able to even get a shot off that on that last offensive possession.
Scottsbluff and Gering will have a second go around later tonight. The girls match up in the late game this evening. That should be fun. Gering really took it to Scottsbluff in the girls' game last Saturday.
It was just an incredible performance by the Gering girls, their first win over Scottsbluff. I heard 2 different versions of that since 2015, but I looked it up. I think it's been since 2017.
Back to action here with 4.5 to play in the third quarter. Hezekiah Garcia gives to Ruzicka. Thought about it, puts it up, deep 3. Long rebound comes off to Trey Boswell, far side of the floor, long outlet pass. Sabala gives to Meininger. Meininger probably should have just taken the shot initially or gone up in traffic in the paint. Tried to give it up in tight quarters there to Kian Delgado, and that winds up a Bearcat turnover. Ryland Ray dribbles out of the right, or off the right side wing to the top of the key, picks up his dribble. He's got Nate Kelly defending. Another Gering turnover as it's poked away, and Nate Kelly just missed a left-handed wide open layup. Maybe just got a little too casual coming in, and that is an absolute rarity right there to see Nate Kelly miss a fundamental shot. Ruzicka threw it right to Isai Sabala. 1-on-none break the other way, and bad turnover leads to a way too easy basket for Scottsbluff. The lead is 21 points now, 42-21. Mazer, tough shot, missed everything, late whistle. Will get a foul called on the Bearcats.
Really, Jack Mazer out there for the Bulldogs trying to do everything he can do. He's been on the floor that time, being able to draw the foul, and some good hustle by Jack Mazer on the Gering side.
So Mazer to shoot 2 at the line. Mazer missed the first 2 free throws Gering had attempted in this game earlier this quarter. So they're now 1 for 3 as a team at the stripe. There have not been many free throws in this game. Scottsbluff has attempted 7. And now Gering with their 4th attempt on the way here from Mazer. 42-22, Scottsbluff leading it. Now 42-23 as Mazer hit both. Just 1 basket from the floor in this quarter for the Bulldogs. Kelly operates with the ball into the paint. Caleb Bird is checked in. They'll shoot the pass opposite. They'll switch defensively. Now Kelly right baseline. Dribbles out of the corner. Hand check foul is going to go against Jack Mazer.
Fouls on number 11, Jack Mazer. His first, Gering's 3rd.
You mentioned the fouls. There really hasn't been a lot by either team. Really nobody in foul trouble with more than 2 fouls, with the exception of Trey Boswell, who has 3.
Sabala inbounds to Kelly. Defender backs off, and Nate leaves the 3-point shot a little bit short, talking to himself a little bit, heading back down the floor after another missed three-pointer. Creighton Beals drives it into the paint, got tripped up. No, got tangled, but they're going to say a travel on Gering as Beals lost his footing and then tripped up over Ryan Hinman's big right foot. And for Gering, their fourth turnover in the quarter, 17 now in the game. Dribble handoff action on the perimeter, and Sabala has it stolen away by Beals. Mazer, a little high on the dribble. Sabala defends. At the foul line, the spin. Mazer, boy, very aggressive take into the paint. Spun away from the defender, put plenty of English on that spinner off the glass. It would not drop, but we do have a foul. And Jack Mazer has earned himself another trip to the foul line for a pair.
I think Gering needs more of what they're seeing from Jack Mazer from the other four players on the floor.
That is his fifth free throw attempt of the quarter, and that is the total number that Gering's had at the line so far in this game. Mazer, after three straight makes, with a miss. Gering an offensive rebound. Ryland Ray open three right wing. That one short. Outlet pass from Des Smith to Sabala. He gives it to Meininger, who hangs. Missed the layup. Offensive rebound. Caleb Berta. If he gets a clean look at the rim, the shot is going up. Berta now 0 for 3 from behind the three-point line in this one. 42-24. We're under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Quentin Robbins picks up his dribble. Now Mazer, shot clock at 18, third quarter game clock at 1:40. Judy, or check that, Ryland Ray, tough challenge shot. Offensive rebound off the miss, wouldn't go. And eventually the ball winds up out of bounds in front of the scorer's table, far side of the floor. 1:28 to play in the third quarter. Scottsbluff leads Gering here in a boys semifinal, 42-24. Des Smith will pass on the wide open shot. He will shoot the second time left wide open. Missed that one, and we'll have a shove that'll go against Gering's Creighton Beals after another offensive rebound for Scottsbluff.
Not just good rebounding position by Gering that time. I mean, the ball came right down to Creighton Beals. He wasn't in position to take it. Scottsbluff takes it away.
Smith at the foul line, gets into the paint. Shot might have been partially blocked. If it wasn't, just a bad miss that time from Des Smith. Ruzicka has it stolen away as he tried to pass over top of Trey Boswell. Boswell with the finger roll on the other end over the defender. Long, lanky, 6'1" sophomore Trey Boswell, 7 in the quarter. He's got 15 and shooting the ball really well here the last 2 days at Cougar Palace. Hezekiah Garcia bangs home a top-of-the-key three. And Gering now finally with a fourth different score in the game.
Yeah, and that's one thing that head coach Trey Winkler has said. I mean, Garcia is going to see plenty of time now without Nate Seiler on the roster, but he's got to do more of that. He's got to be more aggressive, and he can do it. He just doesn't realize it quite yet, he said.
Could be a blessing in disguise for the development of Garcia, 6'4" junior, and if you just spin this forward to next year, he will be a crucial player for Trey Winkler next season.
Yeah, they'll definitely have him. They'll have Ryland Ray coming back, Gage Ruzicka, of course, Max Judy, just a sophomore, and they've got some young kids, Jacoby Elliott out there, Coulter Shelato. So, you know, they've got some kids that are coming up, and you know, it'll be third year under Trey Winkler, and you'd like to see that development. I think you're going to see that a little bit from those younger players. 36
seconds to play here in the third quarter. Scottsbluff coming in with a record of 13-3. Gering at 6-8, and it is not the type of year it was last year in Class B, where a team like Gering can have a record under 500 and then still play in a district final. which was the case a year ago. There are some really good teams at the back of that top 16 right now in Class B. Out of the timeout, Bearcats have it. About a 1 second difference between shot and game clock, and that type of play has Scott Golian wanting to pull his hair out.
That's something you don't see a lot from a Scottsbluff team, where the pass goes awry.
Nate Kelly wanted Caleb Berta. Berta was not looking for the basketball. The ball just bounces out of bounds over here at the media table. Garcia inbounds for Gering to Ruzicka. Shot clock is dark. 25 seconds to play in this third quarter. Can Gering stay composed and strong with the basketball, avoid a turnover, and get the final shot of the quarter? Instead, Nate Kelly with a reach-in foul, and Gering will get some free throws for Jack Mazer, who is 3 for 6 at the line in the game. All of that here in this third.
I don't think we got into the bonus by either team in that first half.
And Mazer just kind of leaning back a little bit on the release on that free throw, and would you know it, the ball comes up short off the front of the iron. Next from Mazer, gets 1 of 2. So he's 4 for 8 at the line here in the third quarter. Scottsbluff's lead is 44-28. Nate Kelly at the controls. Now Berta in the corner. Comes back to the 10-foot line to Kelly. 7 seconds to play. Boswell, shot fake. Steps to his left. They get it to Berta. 3 at the end of the quarter. Banks one home. Caleb Berta drills the triple to close out quarter number 3. Berta's first points. Gering 47-28 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
To start the fourth quarter, it'll be Scottsbluff basketball.
And welcome back to Cougar Palace here on the campus of Western Nebraska Community College. Fourth quarter action. Scottsbluff on top, 47-28. Bearcats with the ball to start this fourth and final quarter. Boswell starts a drive left side, and we've got a foul away from the ball. And foul will be on
Foul on number 21 for Gering.
Gering. Looks like it's on Quentin Robbins. So the Bearcats inbound quickly to Brian Hinneman. He can't convert, but the rebound comes out to Nate Kelly. Nate, bounce pass down low, nobody there for Scottsbluff. Gering comes the other way. Jack Mazer, he's had a good second half so far, goes inside. Hezekiah Garcia puts up the shot over Hinman. It doesn't go. Hinman with the outlet into the hands of Nate Kelly. Kelly right wing, gets a high screen from him and takes it down the left lane line, and he's fouled on his way to the basket. And Nate Kelly will go to the free throw line. 9 points for Nate here in the game. He had 6 at the halftime break. And Quentin Robbins picks up 2 quick fouls here in this fourth quarter. And the Bearcats look like they're on their way to play in the championship game tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 here from Cougar Palace. First one off the mark from Nate Kelly. He will get one more. Nate splits the pair. He's got an even 10. And the Bearcat lead is now 20, and we've got a foul on the made free throw.
Fouls on Ryan Hinman, his first.
Ryan Hinman picks up a foul. So first team foul on the Bearcats here in this fourth quarter. Gering with 2. And the third place game on the boys' side will be tomorrow at 12:30 here at Cougar Palace. There's a pass, Rylan Ray on the dribble, loses the handle, falls to the floor. He'll get it to Quentin Robbins. Back to Rylan Ray in the right corner. Work at top of the key, Jack Mazer, three ball off the back iron. Nate Kelly pulls down the rebound for the Bearcats. On the push, takes it down the paint, ball fake down low and finds Ryan Hinman, who puts it up and in. Nice pass from Nate Kelly to Ryan Hinman. And the Bearcat lead expands. Here's a quick deep three by Ruziska that bounces around. He gets the shooter's roll on the baskets here at Cougar Palace. A deep three. Bearcats almost throw it away. It's safe from going out of bounds. The Bearcats have it. And Boswell answering back with the three from the right corner for the Bearcats. I've got him for 19, and it's 53-31 here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Boswell's eyes are lighting up anytime he gets a catch.
53-31, and Meininger. Scottsbluff rolling here in this final 8 minutes. First game of the day here from Cougar Palace on day 2 of the Western Conference Tournament. Mazer whips a pass inside. It is knocked away from Quentin Robbins. And the ball will stay at the Gering end as Des Smith along with Kian Delgado and Isai Sabala checking in on the Bearcat side. Max Judy back in for Gering. Baseline toss in, they get it to Jack Mazer. Mazer takes it, free throw line, picks up his dribble, finds Rylan Ray. They dump it inside looking for Garcia, but Boswell in the passing lane. It's tipped in the air. Bearcats with the turnover. Boswell drives, dishes, Delgado can't convert on the layup. He had Rylan Ray off his feet, but Rylan Ray comes down with the rebound. Ruziska with it to the free throw line, tried to dump it down low to Garcia. And say the ball was kicked, and it will be Gering ball here. 5:12 left in the contest, 55-31.
You think about this Gering team, the real key game for them this weekend will be tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sydney or Alliance in a third-place matchup and a chance to go 2-1.
Gering and Alliance met up in the opening game of the season this year. The Gering boys coming away with the win there. Shot off. Quickly the other way, Des Smith as Smith goes coast to coast. No one slowing down Des Smith. 57-31, a 7-0 Bearcat run. Traveling called on Gage Ruziska at the Gering end. Bearcats have been in control. They led 20-7 after one. They jumped out to a 12-0 lead in the first quarter. And really from that point, never looked back. Gering's been able to get as close as 6 in the second quarter.
Riley Meininger checks out, and the bench having a good chuckle with him as he finally got that dunk to go, first one of the season.
Delgado against 2 Gering players draws the foul. And the foul on Rylan Ray. And that'll be the first on Ray as Delgado goes to the free throw line. First one on the way from Delgado. (58-31). Ryan Hinman back into the Scottsbluff lineup for Trey Boswell. And one more for Kian Delgado. Delgado with only 2 points at the halftime break. Second one from the left-hander falls through. He's got 4 in the game. And the Bearcats firmly in control. Mazer for Gering. Fires a pass right corner. Rylan Ray with it. He'll drive baseline against Smith. Cut off there. Kick it back on top to Max Judy. He'll take the shot inside the arc that doesn't fall. Battle for the rebound. Bearcats come out of there with it. Isai Sabala into the paint, puts up the shot, doesn't go. And Sabala will go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Been a struggle for Judy today, Jeff. Has been held scoreless, and really, that was a great pass fake. Defender took the bait, got a wide open look from the right elbow, just couldn't knock it down.
Sabala doing a good job coming off the bench for the Bearcats as the Bearcats have reached the 60-point mark. Second one off the back iron. And the Bearcats come away with it. Judy ahead to Mazer on the left side. Mazer starting a drive cut off by Sabala. Gives it up to Judy. Judy with the reverse layup. That won't fall. Hinman lights the outlet pass. Sabala gives it to Berta. Berta's layup doesn't go. There's Keon Delgado with the offensive rebound and the putback for the Bearcats. 3:42 left in the game. Mazer picks up his dribble, finds Max Judy. Ruziska on the left wing, another deep 3 from Gage. Probably not the best shot selection that time from Ruziska. Very quickly, Bearcats the other way. Hinman, he'll take the 3 top of the key off the back iron.
The bench wanted that one big time. No hesitation from Hinman, though. I'll give him that.
The Gering end, Rylan Ray with it, trying to spin against Des Smith. Nice defense. Shot doesn't go. Ray will run down the rebound far in the right corner. Max Judy back to Jack Mazer, and there's a 3 from Jack Mazer. And Jack Mazer has done all he can to keep Gering in this one. Unfortunately, it's not quite enough. We've got a timeout. 30-second timeout. 62-34 is your score.
Mazer's been by far and away the most aggressive player for Gering, especially in this second half.
Like I said earlier, I think they need that from the other 4 players on the floor. Jack's been trying to do it all himself here this afternoon, and but Gering, as we said, just got off to a slow start, which has kind of been their bugaboo this entire season. If they get off to a slow start, it usually does not turn out good for the Gering Bulldogs.
Led by, what, 13 at halftime, I think, last night?
Yeah.
Against Chadron, wound up winning it by 16, 67-51. The loss here today will put Gering at 6-9, and Scottsbluff just a few minutes away from their 14th win of the year.
62-34 is your score.
And now both teams will empty the bench a little bit here.
Eric Sabala into the game, Domingo Gomez, Oliver Carpenter. As they look down low. There's a 3, or check that, a shot inside the arc from Eric Sabala. That doesn't go. So we've got Brandon Spencer into the lineup for the Bearcats, Coulter Shelato, and Deacon Tuttle. A lot of these players got to see action for Gering yesterday in the win over Chadron. Here's Tuttle driving right side, and he rolls a layup in for the 5'7" junior, Deacon Tuttle. 62-36 Bearcats. Sabala drives, dishes Domingo Gomez with a 3 ball. And Gomez, a 6'1" junior, off the Scottsbluff bench with a 3. So we near 2 minutes left in the game. Max Judy driving. He's bumped on his way to the basket by Scottsbluff Oliver Carpenter. That'll be his first. Ayler Bell into the Gering lineup. And Ayler Bell wearing number 20. The black uniforms for Gering have different numbers than their blues and their whites. Here's Spencer with a 3 that doesn't fall. Sabala down with the rebound for Scottsbluff. Ahead to George Small. Back to Sabala. Sabala drives against Garcia. Shot doesn't go. Almost got knocked away. Then Bell has it knocked away. And Bearcats with it. Sabala as we near 90 seconds left in the game. Top of the key, here's Oliver Carpenter with a 3 ball. Everybody getting into the act for the Bearcats. 68-36. The minute 20 left. Bearcat Shelato trying to answer back on the Gering side. Carpenter picks up his dribble. They'll get it to Gomez, another 3. That's an air ball, but it falls into the hands of Strom, and Strom puts it up and in. 70 points for the Bearcats here in this one. Ayler Bell to the free throw line. Gets into the corner to Spencer to Bell. Garcia with it, top of the key. He'll step back and take a 3. That's off the mark. Rebounded in the hands of Baylor. Or check that Ayler Bell, and it's knocked away, and the Bearcats have it. Carpenter on the wing. In the corner, Strom with another 3 ball. Strom back-to-back 3s in this fourth quarter as we count it down here from Cougar Palace. 73-36. Deacon Tuttle, step back, he'll take the 3, and Deacon Tuttle, he's got a 3 ball. He's got 5. 13 seconds left in the game. Bearcats will go to 14-3 on the year. They will play in the boys championship game tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 as Gering will lose for the second time in less than a week to the Bearcats. As the final score is Scottsbluff 73, Gering 39. With the loss, Gering drops to 6-9 on the year. So your final score, Scottsbluff beats Gering 73-39 on the West Coast scoreboard.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
Recommend Allo's business services to other companies. Allo's next-gen firewalls have allowed us to tie 6 physical locations together along with numerous remote employees to produce and collaborate and generate content for our local radio group. It is very important for Nebraska Rural Radio Association to have the best in internet and phone service. We rely upon that every single day. Allo provided me with a solution that fit our needs. They have a quality product, great technical support, and a local presence in their community.
Better sleep and better health can be found at Western Sleep Medicine in Gering. Since 2006, Western Sleep Medicine has offered the lowest cost sleep testing either in their independent sleep laboratory or the privacy of your own home. You have control over your health care and your out-of-pocket cost. All insurance is accepted for a much lower cost than the regional option. If you need a sleep study, ask for Western Sleep Medicine. They've helped thousands of people over the years and want to help you. Western Sleep Medicine. Better sleep, better health.
Alongside Jeff Kelly, Chris Cottrell with you here. Darna runs a post-game show at the conclusion of a Scottsbluff boys victory over Gering by the score of 73-39. Jeff, simply put, the two teams are just not on the same level this year.
No, definitely. You can definitely see that. The last 2 times these 2 teams have met up, it's just been Scottsbluff jumping out from the opening tip and Gering facing an uphill battle through the entire game. And we saw that here this afternoon as Scottsbluff jumped out to a 12-0 lead. Gering didn't get their first 2 points until about 4.5 minutes into the first quarter, and from then on, Gering really only able to get as close as 6, and that was really as close as they got, as it was 30-19 at the halftime break. Gering getting outscored 43-20 in that second half, and that fourth quarter just completely got away from Gering as Bearcats at the end of the third quarter was 47-28, It ends up 73-39.
Let's check some of the numbers here. Check on Stats brought to you by Dr. Levi Bolin and Advantage Chiropractic. Call and get that appointment on the books with those folks at 633-1425. Gering had just 5 players score, just 2 starters score. Jack Mazer led with 13. Gage Rosicka and Rylan Ray both had 9. 5 off the bench late for Deacon Tuttle, and Hezekiah Garcia finished with 3. I had Gering unofficially with 20 turnovers. They went 4 for 8 at the line, and they made 7 3-point baskets. It looks like we've got Bearcats head coach Scott Gullion set to join us here for a few post-game comments after they win it 73-39, the final score here in this one. Coach, you guys come out of the gate, get off to a great start, 10-0, and really kind of took control from the jump.
Yeah, I really liked our defensive pressure and intensity right from the get. Allowed us to go on a little bit of a run early. Thought we relaxed a little bit after that, which happens when you go on a run early, but Gering did a good job of finding some open shooters and making some shots and kind of getting back into it. And then I thought we just did a really good job in the second half of just kind of maintaining and going on a couple different runs.
Bench was loving it. Riley got that first dunk of the season. It looked like they were kind of giving it to him. It looks like there was smiles all around when he finally punched one home.
Yeah, he got one. I know he wanted one. Trey kind of got a rim grazer, but yeah, Riley went up and got a pretty good one, and I think that's his first one in a game, at least in a high school regular game. But yeah, I think he was pretty pumped.
Did you work on the secondary break this week with Hinman's 3-ball from the top of the key? Was that in the practice schedule?
When he was going back in, he goes, "Can I shoot one?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." And he got a wide open one. It looked good from over where we were. I was like, he just made that thing. But, yeah, I thought he was going to make it, and it's good to see those guys have some fun and get smiles on their face.
Anytime Nate drives the basketball, you know all the help's going to come, and Ryan's been a big beneficiary of that. I mean, guys get so many easy layups because of the attention Nate draws on the drive.
Yeah, and Ryan's been doing a really good job finishing the last 3 games. He rebounds for us. He's a big body, and then he's been finishing plays when he gets the opportunities. So we need him to continue doing that.
If you're talking about tomorrow, a matchup against either Sydney or Alliance, we'll find out a little bit later on. That'll be game number 3. We know what Sydney's going to bring to the table, just a real element of toughness in everything they do.
Yeah, and they rebound the basketball really good, especially offensively. Really good athletes. I mean, Kaiser is, I think, Division I recruit in football. Doty, we know, is a really good athlete. I mean, they got really good athletes. I mean, sprinter types that were, up there especially in the region in the 100-meter dash. And they're physical. Biggest thing is we got to keep them off the glass and kind of keep them out of the lane.
And then if we're talking about Alliance, Jordan Mills, first year at the helm, doing a really nice job, over 500. They've beaten Sydney already this year for kind of their marquee win. What are you seeing from Alliance?
Yeah, I think Jordan Mills is doing a tremendous job with Alliance. They got Lonick is shooting. He's right up there. He might have the most three-pointers made in the state. So we can't give him any open looks. And Boyer's been really good for him, steady at the point guard. Finds open guys, can make shots, and Meyring's been really good too. So they got athleticism, they got shooters, and they're playing with some toughness too.
Scottsbluff boys head coach Scott Gullion after the Cats win it over Gering 73-39. Coach, you got the early game out of the way. Enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon and evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Scottsbluff wins it today, 73-39 over Gering. We're back after this on our Runs a Postgame show.
Coverage of the 2025 Western Conference Basketball Tournament on KNEB.TV is brought to you by Allo, A. Elliott Law, Travis Hawk Shelter Insurance, Dustin White Irrigation, and B&C Steel.
And back here on our post-game show as Scottsbluff defeats Gering 73-39. Trey Winkler joined us here on the post-game show. Another slow start different from what you saw against Chadron last night. We kind of saw this last Saturday against this team also.
Yeah, I think it's just what we've been struggling with all season, the toughness, the defense. When people, press up and get into us, we kind of fold. So we got to figure out how to get past that. And sometimes it's a long process thing of getting in the weight room and just getting stronger and handling the ball and putting in more work.
When we talked the other morning, you said you were working on a 1-3-1. We saw that. Scottsbluff's first possession down. Then after that, you kind of went away from that.
Yeah, we're kind of playing with it a little bit, seeing what we could do. But, we thought we could match up with them a lot better and play off some guys and whatnot. But didn't work out.
And it just seemed like Jack Mazer was trying to do everything for you tonight. A good game for Jack, and he seemed to be an aggressor for you.
Yeah, that was good for Jack. He needed that. We need other guys to do the same, and we need less dribbling and more passing, more movement. And we practice those things. We just got to do it in the game.
Coach, we'll let you go on this one. A chance still to go 2-1 this weekend in this tournament, and all things considered, really tomorrow, the real key game of the weekend. You'll take on either Alliance or Sydney. You've played both already this year, and tomorrow's going to be a big one for you and the fellas.
Oh yeah, we got to come out, be ready to play. Flush this one quick and bounce back, have more energy tomorrow. And it's what happened to us last year. We beat Chadron, lost to Scottsbluff, and then we came out with energy the next day and beat North Platte. So if we can do that again tomorrow, whoever we play, Sydney or Alliance, we just take it to them and flush this one and move on.
Gering boys head coach Trey Winkler after a tough one here today as they fall to Scottsbluff 73-39. Coach, thanks for stopping by. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Trey.
Jeff.
We'll come back with more right after this and close out our opening broadcast on the Rural Radio Network.